Today on the channel, San Diego Comic-Con 2025 is in the rear view mirror, and it's time for an edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 10 as I count down my top 10 favorite reveals from San Diego Comic-Con 2025.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 10. A Thursday tradition here on the channel is usually we're doing a top 5 countdown, but today we're diving into a top 10 list. And of course, I always say this is my list. Put your list in the comments below. My list, 100% right. Your list can be 100% right, but it can only be right if you put a top 10 in. That's what I'm saying right here. But today, we're counting down my top 10 favorite reveals of San Diego Comic-Con 2025. Now, I'm talking individual figures here. I'm not saying Mattel is number 1 or Masters Universe is number 3 or whatever. It's going to be a specific figure for each of these here. Now, the biggest news I felt of San Diego Comic-Con 2025 was the return of the LJN line. I am doing a recap video of that. It's already probably up on the channel by the time you're watching this, depending when and where and how you watch it. If you're a Patreon member, the whole rigmarole there. But I feel like the LJN was the biggest news there. It's a little bit back and forth. I absolutely love it, and I'm also a little disappointed in some aspects. Check out the video, but I'm very excited for the nostalgia of the LJN line. I really enjoyed LJNs as a kid. I enjoy them now. I'm very excited for this line. I'd rather have this line the way they're doing it than not having it at all. I will definitely say that. And I do think that was the biggest news. And I do think as far as reveals go, Mattel once again knocking it out of the park. They had the most reveals, the most new stuff. They really came to show in force at San Diego Comic-Con. So kudos to the Mattel team out there. Out of Hasbro, everybody else, I do think the Mattel WWE line definitely far and away beat out everybody else. And it's just the sheer amount of reveals, excitement, new lines. I mean, they covered a little bit of everything there. There's always going to be somebody you didn't see that you wanted to see. I wish they would have had 100 Jesse Venturas and 100 Ultimate Warriors, but it's not the case. But I got a lot of Jesse and a couple of Warriors as well. But Mattel really killed it. Nothing against Hasbro in them, but man, Hasbro, we really knew a lot of that stuff going into it from a lot of those. We did get some reveals, we did get some new stuff, but not to the degree that Mattel WWE brought us. So if there was a clear winner, it was the Mattel line from WWE for sure at San Diego. But there was a lot of good stuff, and you'll see some Mattel WWE stuff in my top 10 list here, among many other lines. And once again, put your list in the comments down below. But enough jibber jabber. Let's get after it. Let's start at number 10. All right, the countdown begins at number 10. And my number 10 reveal, we go to Marvel. We go to Marvel Legends. We go to my boy Wolverine, but we get World War II Wolverine. I love Wolverine figures, a little oversaturated from time to time, but it's always cool when we get something brand new, something we haven't had in the past, and that's what we get here. And I can see a lot of collectors moving this one into their G.I. Joe line as well. You get Army Fatigues, World War II, G.I. Joe style Wolverine. Man, oh man, there's a lot of people going to want this one in their collection, including myself. Absolutely love this. And we got a few good Wolverines, but this was my favorite one from 2025 San Diego Comic-Con. Here we are at number 9. And number 9, I said we'd go to some WWE Mattel, and that's where we're going here today with the Defining Moments Penta. Now, Penta has had amazing figures from his Jazzwares run with AEW. Now we're moving over to WWE. Now, I don't know if he's quite a defining moment. The defining moments feel like not what I originally thought they were supposed to be when the line did start. It's getting a little bit off the beaten path, if you ask me, but that's a different topic, a different video. But Penta is a big deal, and he's a big deal because he is so toyetic. And of course, Magic is now on the Mattel team, was on the AEW team. So I'm guessing, my guess is he had a lot to do with this one because he's worked on Penta before. But man, oh man, this Penta pops. Seeing that thing in person, I was excited before. I'm even more excited now. And I wouldn't even say Penta is a top 10 favorite performer of mine, but I like toys. I like toyetic toys. I like wrestling toys. And this one blew me away. So much, in fact, it jumped up to number 9 in my top 10 countdown. Here we go. We're feeling great at number 8. And once again, we go to the WWE Mattel. We go to a 3-pack that is coming to Target. Pre-order available right now. It is the Piper's Pit 3-pack. I love Roddy Piper, one of my absolute favorites. Of course, Piper's Pit, very iconic. Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, Cowboy Bob Orton. We get them in this 3-pack. It's the WrestleMania 1 group right there. We get some beautiful soft good shirts. You get the beautiful pink hat for Cowboy Bob. Very cool nod to the future, maybe, if we're lucky. We'll see what happens there. And then, of course, the seats. And I'm looking at those chairs from that Piper's Pit. That's going right to the Kyle Peterson Show talk show set, of course. And Bill over there at Mattel did say they kind of worked on this way back when it got shelved. They found a perfect opportunity to put this out here. And I look at this, as cool as it is, we're getting a Piper's Pit. If we can just get a Jimmy Snuka, Todd McFarlane, it does look amazing, looks really cool. But my brain goes to, could we get a funeral parlor in the future? Could we get Brutus the Barber Beefcake set? Could we get the Snake Pit? There's a lot of that kind of stuff that I could see possibly getting in the future, which would be absolutely amazing. I would love to see 2 or 3 packs with a little bit of a set. I think there's meat on the bone right there. I mean, we got Heartbreak Hotel once upon a time from Walmart, so maybe this could be the future here. Maybe we'll see more of that kind of stuff. A great idea, a great way to get there. And I guess Steve Ogier said on the Wrestling Fig forums, I mean, maybe lately, but years ago, saying we wouldn't do a barbershop as a crowd fund. We'd get it in a regular line. Well, here's the perfect example of them doing that here with the Piper's Pit. So very excited to get that one there. Would love like a Saturday night's main event set up there with Jesse Ventura, maybe Mean Gene, Vince, whoever it may be. There's a lot of fun and a lot of opportunities for the future, especially with legends and things like that, to where we could go. So we'll see where it all ends up going. And I wouldn't be shocked. I mentioned that Heartbreak Hotel set. I could see them easily putting that one back out. It was an exclusive Build-A-Figure set, put it all together. I think enough times passed, I could easily see Mattel doing that, so we should stay tuned to that as well. Piper's Pit, coming in at number 8 of the top 10 countdown. Here we are at number 7, and oh my goodness, you know I love every chimp I see, from Chimpanzee to Chimpanzee. Todd, you knew this, and you came in hot, and I don't even know this character's name. It came up on the screen at the Todd McFarlane panel. Todd was talking about it, and I tuned everything out, which I usually don't tune you out unless you're clapping like a seal with your feet. But I tuned everything out, and I was just transfixed because here it was, a little chimpanzee, I guess a 2-pack with some girl. I don't know who this girl is, but get me this chimpanzee with a tie and a jacket and coat on. Oh my gosh, this is what I want in action figures. I need more stuff like this. And once again, I don't even know what this character's called. Have no idea. No clue, but day one purchase for me. I'll probably buy 2 of them so I can display both heads there. I love monkeys. I love monkeys in clothes. Well, it reminds me of Lancelot Link. I used to watch that on Nick at Night when I was a little kid. I was like, oh my gosh, these chimps are talking. I was blown away by that as a kid, and I'm blown away by it now. This monkey is a must-have for me. Absolutely blown away for that. It stole so much McFarlane thunder, and there were so many things like Batman, Superman, all kinds of stuff. But once I saw that monkey, I just tuned out. I couldn't believe what I saw. And man, oh man, he came in extra hot on my list at number 7. Continue on the countdown at number 6, and we're back to WWE Mattel. This time we're going to Target. We're going to the WWE Legends line. We're going to Jesse Ventura. No conspiracies here. The Jessies are coming, and I think we got hit with like 6 Jesse Ventura figures at the Mattel booth this weekend between the reveals and everything else. Man, oh man, you get those white kind of tiger stripe Zubaz type pants on him. So many classic Ventura outfits, and you know he's going to be in all these different lines. Cannot wait to see that. We got to get a referee Jesse Ventura from both versions. I would love a main event conspiracy theory Jesse Ventura. How do we have that? I should have asked the Mattel team about that. I didn't even ask that question. But get an old man Ventura with the bald head and the mustache. Just put him in anything, and man, oh man, we can have conspiracy suit Jesse Ventura. So much meat on that Jesse Ventura bone. We even need a modern day Saturday night's main event Jesse Ventura. Man, oh man, there's so much stuff they can do, and I'm just excited for it all. But number 6 for me is going to be the Legends release coming, I guess early next year is probably where that's coming. But Jesse coming in at number 6. We've hit the number 5 spot in the countdown. You got your list together. Put it in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So much San Diego Comic-Con coverage, news videos coming after. A lot going on as we recap everything and anything from San Diego Comic-Con 2025. But here we are at number 5, and we're feeling a little bit of that Iron Maiden deja vu here at number 5. As once again, we're going to Jesse the Body Ventura, this time in the Coliseum collection with his original color scheme from the LJNs back in the day. He is a 2-pack with King Kong Bundy. I believe this will be the next one after the Ultimate Warrior Honky Tonk Man that comes out this fall. So I guess early next year, February next year. What is time? What is years? I don't know. We're going to get another Jesse Ventura, this time an Ultimate Edition in the Coliseum collection. Sign me up. Probably going to have to buy multiples of these as well. Very excited to get another Jesse in the collection, this time in the Ultimate version, giving us throwback wrestler Jesse, where most people, the majority of people, want Jesse as an announcer, commentator, but it's good to get some classic Ventura wrestling figures in there, and I would love to at least have one Elite before it's said and done of Jesse in his wrestling gear as well. Obviously, we want the other stuff, but I want some wrestling as well, and the Coliseum going to be their first sniff at a wrestling gear Jesse Ventura, and it comes in at number 5. Number 4 on the countdown, we go to the WWE Superstars line. So many cool figures coming out of the Superstars line, but as we always say, one of the most frustrating collectibles there is to collect in this day and age. With all the shenanigans at Walmart, I'm still on the hunt for multiple Great Muta chases and the Jake the Snake Robert chase. Hopefully those show up sooner rather than later. Apparently hitting the planograms here in the next couple of weeks at Walmart. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. But we did see an upcoming one here in Demolition. And Demolition, of course, Axe, Smash, and Crush. And Hacksaw is going to be in that set. And beautiful enough, they're giving us the Hacksaw with the Demolition face paint from their match. Love that they're doing that one. But Demolition, a little surprised we didn't see more Demolition. We know we got some coming to the Legends line. We saw that at Mania. I thought we would have saw some updates on that here. I didn't really see anything this weekend, but we did see the Superstars. They're tailor-made for the Superstars line. Would not be shocked to see them in the LJN line as well in the future. We'll see what happens there. But these look absolutely amazing, just tailor-made for the Superstars line. I just hope we can find these. Some rumors going around, we might be able to get these at Walmart next year, so hopefully that is the case. Monday Night Wars line went up there. Sounds like Superstars may follow suit. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that, of course. But Demolition, and we'll even throw Hacksaw in there, coming in at number 4. Here we are at the top 3. We're at the number 3 selection, and I would say the LJNs was a big surprise. However, that surprise was blown with a little of that WWE purchase announcement a couple of weeks ago, and then some of the images leaking out there of the big standee cardboard cutout in the lot a couple days beforehand, whatever it was. But number 3 for me was possibly the biggest surprise there. I did not have this on my bucket list. I definitely had it on my want list, and this is going back to nostalgia for me. This goes back to me being a little kid, and I'm hopeful my dad will come and unbox these with me on the channel. It is the Universal Monsters Imperial Collection from NECA. Now, getting the most out of our molds. We know how NECA does that. We know all these toy lines do that. But they're putting them in throwback Imperial Toys packaging. These are the Universal Monsters of my childhood in the 80s. Now, my dad had the Aurora model kits. As young as I could remember, I remember seeing those. Always gazed at them, always stared at them, but you couldn't play with those. However, the Imperial figures were for kids. I bought them at Toys R Us. I played with them, absolutely loved them. I would cross those over with my Ghostbuster Kenner figures, and it would be a giant mummy and Wolfman they would have to take down and challenge. Absolutely love these, very nostalgic. And it's funny, I did a video on the channel 6 months, 8 months ago of things I would love to track down if I could get minty ones, and those Imperials were on my list. I have yet to track those down, but now I'm going to get a very nostalgic look at these ones here. And it'd be worth tracking down just to display those two together. My current day passion for collecting with my childhood passion collecting, putting those together on a shelf would be really something special for me. So coming in at number 3, looking absolutely crazy, Universal Monsters Imperial Editions via NECA. Dangerously close to the top spot. We're at number 2, what I was most excited for at San Diego Comic-Con. And we saw this for the first time at the Hasbro breakfast. I talked for at length with good friend of the channel now, good friend, Lenny from the Hasbro team. Spent a lot of time. Talked to Lenny for about a half hour at that breakfast, and then probably spent most of the Cold Slither show with Lenny as well. But Lenny doing great things, and it's just great to see a true fan being on the brand. It's very cool to see a guy like Lenny enjoying his time with the G.I. Joe brand. And he did debut, or Hasbro debuted, I guess more like it, at that breakfast. Then it went to the con floor on Thursday. It is Pythona, of course, from Cobra Law. Once again, I love Cobra Law. That was my era of G.I. Joe. I watched it from the beginning, but I fell in love with it with the Serpentor, Cobra Law, all that era. Everything else is really what made me a fan for life, and it's very polarizing. You like it or you don't. If you don't like it, you move on. But Pythona is coming. Looks like a con exclusive for the fall. Not a big fan of that, in all honesty. Just let us get this one. But hopefully we'll be able to track that down. But looking good as part of Cobra Law. You know Galabulus is coming. Lenny even said it at the panel. He said it to me at breakfast. That's his most wanted. It's right up there. You guys saw my most wanted Joe list not too long ago on this channel. And Galabulus is there. And I said, Lenny, when that day finally comes, obviously you got to have the big ball he was in. And Lenny obviously knew that. But I said, you also need a second head. You need the second globulus head with the hole in the eye patch with the dagger that can come in and out of that. That is key to that globulus. And he lit up when I was saying that. So I don't know if it was like I need to add that to my thought list, or hey, you're thinking the same page as me. I'm not exactly sure. And that's the thing. You want to talk to these guys. You want to do interviews with them, which you could. But I hate to say it's a waste of time to interview a Lenny, because it's nice to chat with those guys. But let's be honest. They're not going to tell you anything. They're not going to break any news. Oh, hey, Lenny, I want to get EcoForce Flint. Yeah, maybe everything's on the table. You're going to get that rinse and repeat from NECA, from Mattel, from Hasbro, everybody. It's the same thing all the time. They can only say so much, and guess what? They're not going to break any news on an interview with me. They're going to say, well, Kyle, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to roll out the whole EcoForce lineup for the next couple of years, and we're also putting Battle Force 2000 out here, and here's the first releases. It's a Walmart exclusive. They're not going to do that for anybody. So I hate to say it's a waste of time interviewing these guys, but you just can get the same canned responses, and you guys know me. I'm going to be shooting them with all kinds of stuff, and they're going to be a deer in the headlight, and they're not going to want to go back and forth. So it is what it is. But it was great to meet Lenny, and I met him last year too. But it was great to spend some time and really talk to him and party at the Cold Slither concert, of course. But Pythona is what I'm looking for, and she comes in at number 2, which means there can only be one. What was my number 1 favorite reveal of the weekend of San Diego Comic-Con? Well, stay tuned. All right, we've hit the number 1 spot. My number 1 most exciting thing I saw at San Diego Comic-Con as far as reveals for 2025. You got your list together. Put it in the comments down below. And once again, make sure you do subscribe to this channel and my other YouTube channel while you're at it. But number 1 for me, it was clear as day. It was one of the first things I saw when I walked up to the booth. I fell to my knees and I said, no conspiracies here. We got Jesse Ventura, the Mattel Creations exclusive. It's like a 4-in-1 Jesse Ventura figure. This can double as a Hollywood Jesse Ventura from the Predator movie. You want Blaine on your shelf, give him a big old Gatling gun from McFarlane or maybe G.I. Joe. You can have Predator Jesse Ventura, Saturday Night's Main Event Jesse Ventura. There's so many. Body Slam Jesse Ventura, or not Body Slam. What was the show with Roddy Piper and him where they were the buddy cops? We can make that Jesse Ventura. There is so much meat on the bone for this one here. I'm not sure how many I'm picking up. I need 1 mint on card for sure. Probably 2 loose ones here. But this Jesse is something we really, really needed. And there was a lot of Jessies revealed. Superstars Jesse, Retro Jesse, the Jessies I talked about earlier. And I'm sure there's more to come in the future. I just hope by the time it's all said and done, we at least get 1 conspiracy theory Jesse Ventura. If we can just get Jesse Ventura with the old man, bald head with the mustache, and I'll figure it out from there. So hopefully we can get that in the future. Fingers crossed there. But man, Jesse Ventura was the theme of this convention for me. Being a big wrestling fan, being a big Ventura fan, very excited to see all these figures coming. And clear away, my favorite was the Jesse Mattel Creations exclusive, I believe, coming this fall to Mattel Creations. But a wild San Diego Comic-Con here. There was some good, there was some bad. It felt like it was dialed back. It felt like the crowds were dialed up. So it was an interesting thing. But clearing away, Mattel did win the weekend for me. It's just the amount of reveals, the amount of product they showed compared to everybody else. And a lot of other ones, like G.I. Joe, for instance, we lost a lot of the charm because they announced a bunch of stuff the week before. I wish they would have held into that, and I'll cover that in my G.I. Joe recap video. But kudos to everybody out there. Another successful San Diego Comic-Con. We'll see if I can do it in 2026. I don't know if I got it in me. We'll see what ends up happening, though. I say that every single year, so we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But there it is. That is my top 10 San Diego Comic-Con. Once again, put your list in the comments below. Put them in order. Always say that, of course. Check out my Patreon, YouTube channel memberships to support the channel and get tons of bonus content. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Kyle Peterson Show, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com if you want to email me. And of course, as you guys know, my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, every single Tuesday where podcasts are found with videocast on YouTube. So for the top 10 reveals, San Diego Comic-Con 2025, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?